Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog. I told you there was another spot on Old Burg I wanted to try, and it is a fun one. We're at 4332, and this is basically a 3 species spot here, although I bet there's more than that. Primarily what you're going to catch is at night bream and during the day roach. The cool thing about the spot is you don't need to change your setup. Same bait, same ground bait, everything for the whole day, all 24 hours. And it is just really nice and consistent, nice quality markers here. The other species that I would mention is the white bream. And we've only gotten one, but we're just now getting into like early morning when the white bream might show up. Of course, if you're float fishing, you'll see a higher percentage of white bream. The crucians and gibbles may show up occasionally. I don't know if any other species will occasionally show up, but anytime you have a spot where you're getting really nice bream bite at night, which we certainly did, nice markers. It's not the craziest bream spot right now, but we had 14 over a kilo. So 15. So that's pretty good. Definitely feels like the trophy could come out. And then the nice thing is, especially if you're a low-level player or you've recently gotten to Old Burg, you can spend a whole hour here. I mean, you can spend the whole day in this one spot and again not change your approach at all. It may be possible that you could get a little more dialed in on bream by using a different bait or a different ground bait. But what we're using right now seems to be working for the bream quite well. And then during the day, it was also hitting those nice common roach sizes. And so I'll go ahead and show you the setup here. Let's go ahead and get this cast back in there. And then we'll look at the setup. Also should show you where we are on the map. If you'll notice, we're just kind of casting just right of east here in terms of a casting direction. And this is where we are on the map down here at F7. And like I said, it's 4332 with a 15-meter clip. But the setup is garlic dough. It's a large one hook with garlic dough. Again, pulled this off of VK. I thought this was an interesting ground bait they were using. It's kind of a catch-all ground bait. In fact, that's what I ended up naming it for my own category. But it definitely looks like it would target the bream quite well. But it also has a lot of ingredients in there that the roach are going to like. And since the roach are also biting on the garlic dough, it's catching both species. And it's really interesting. And I think if you do catch a white bream on there because you're using that large one hook, it's a good chance you're going to get a really nice large white bream. If you are using 5.4 or certainly smaller than that strength leaders or line, this is one of those places where you want to be careful with your friction brake. You're probably going to be fine on the roach, but you could hit a really decent bream and suddenly pop your leader before you realize it. Let that fish run a little bit. If it's a bream, then it will tire out pretty quickly. I haven't had any common carp or grass carp or anything like that here yet. That would obviously start to ruin the day if those started to bite on the garlic dough, but so far that doesn't seem to be happening, which is nice. And this is a healthy little bream, it looks like. Not quite trophy size, but it's closer than anything else we've caught so far. Yeah, that's a very nice one. 3.9. Now we want this to be a white bream. It still is a little small. But we should see the spot transform back into more and more common roach here shortly. Which is kind of the nice thing about the spot, because there are active common roach. During the daytime, it's not like you're just catching tiny little bream, which sometimes on bream spots, that's what happens. Nothing else is biting, and so you'll still occasionally catch bream, but they're, you know, on average, their size is just too small because you're fishing bream at the wrong time. But in this spot, instead of that happening, it seems like what happens is it transitions to roach and crucians and such, so you can finish out your day catching nice, healthy size fish, continuing to earn that silver even when bream time is over. I mean, we've been here 28 minutes and we already have a healthy net of 34. Only 2 of them were not keepers, and that's just because I'm keeping the white bream, just because I'm curious what percentage of white bream we'll end up catching. But we did get a bait fish white bream, which is always nice. Worth using at Corey for bait fish. And being down here, you know, remember it was up here where we were catching the pike and carp earlier. The other thing you could do is, if you don't want to catch common roach during the day and you have the gear for it, you could, during the day, once bream stop biting, you could go up and catch pike and a few carp. However, this is a nice one. However, this spot, I really thought of this spot for folks who are maybe just getting to Old Burg or a little lower level, don't have the gear for carp. Certainly a lot of people won't have the gear for pike. And this seems like a really solid option if you're here at Old Burg right now. You do need to get your baits leveled up to have garlic dough. That's not to say you couldn't try other baits. Something like pearl barley should work really well here. There's probably other baits you could use if you haven't quite unlocked garlic dough, but I think garlic dough is the sweet spot because there's just multiple species in this spot who seem to be not only going for the garlic dough, but going for it on quality size fish. Some of that has to do with the bait, and some of that may have to do with the hook size. It's active enough that we can get away with large 1 hooks here and do quite well. If you want to increase your chance of getting the white bream, obviously lower your hook size. But you may lower your average size fish overall a little bit, but it still would be a good spot. I could see using 8s or 10s here and still doing quite well. So another really nice bream. Oh, no, this is a common carp. Okay, this is a little bit of a cautionary tale here. We're going to just hope that, you know, you prefer common over grass in this kind of situation. But we're going to hope whatever common carp we catch are going to be around that 3 kilo size. That's what we're going to hope. Nice roach. And another nice roach. So you see, we're already starting to see the percentages change a little bit. We'll still catch some more bream, but you'll start seeing the roach start to file in a little bit as well. I pulled that one a little soon. Let's let that sit. So we're up to 5 different species now. Not as excited about seeing a common carp, but again, if they'll stay small in size like that, it's okay. So we're at 40, 38 keepers, 33 minutes. This is going to be a nice spot. I probably won't record the full hour, but I just kind of wanted to see this transition from nighttime back to daytime to see if it does as well. Ooh, goodness. I think it's this one that's going nuts. Okay. That needs to slow down soon, or it's not a bream. That just doesn't sound like a bream run, does it? We want him to keep going down and not go into the pond, because we're not going to be able to get to the pond before we would get spooled. Yeah. Alright, we're just going to pull until he starts ripping it again. It looks like he might have just gone into the pond. See if we can convince him to come back this way. I guess best guess here is that we are on a mid-sized carp. Well, that just makes this spot a little more entertaining, I guess. I think we have fish on both lines. So let's reset them. Not the end of the world if that carp pops off, since it is a little big for us to be trying to pull in on this setup. Alright, it came off. Probably a good thing. probably a good thing. So it looks like, and again, we don't know for sure if it was a common or grass. I'm gonna say it was common based on the bait, but you never know. And if you have the patience, you know, we probably could have eventually gotten that fish in. We could have walked obviously down to the end here, and it felt like it was giving us enough line back occasionally. We may not have been spooled, but it's hard to know for sure, and it would have taken quite a while, I think. There's a roach. Okay, so I think that's 2 carp we've hit then. A little more than I was hoping we would see. So this spot is not without risk. I was hoping we were going to be able to see it as a low risk spot for lower level players. I think it's still worth checking out, but it's not without risk. Yep, I think we've made the transition. We're seeing almost exclusively roach now, which is good because the alternative would be really small bream. We never did see the white bream come in as much as I thought they might, but I think some of that's just the hook size. I think it's just the hook size. It's very nice. And the roach are over a kilo in size. It's a good sign. A lot of people seem to be fishing bear right now on the cocoa setups. And it looks like it's pretty good, but it doesn't look like the golden tencher is active as they were. It looks like it's primarily tench trophies and then, you know, grass and mirror trophies coming in. All right, it's almost noon. We have made it 40 minutes. I think instead of going all the way to an hour, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here shortly. Let's catch a couple more fish and then just see how we've done in less than an hour. I think there's a fish on that line. Maybe not fully hooked yet. There's a fish somewhere. All right, looks like it's this one. Another nice roach. Common roach nibbles. I think if we wait a second here, we're going to end up catching a fish on all 3 lines before we wrap it up. The bite right here is just great. It's a small fry. Yeah, they're here. We just hadn't hit a nice one yet. Thick roach. Okay. Very fun little spot. Very fun little spot with just a little bit of danger. A little bit of carp danger. But still worth it. Let's see how we did. Silver. It's probably not much in terms of cafe orders. There may be one roach order or something, but it hasn't been that long since I turned in those carp or those pike and grass carp orders. Bloop. Okay. So without orders, 230 silver in less than an hour. Old Burg is so good right now. That's fantastic. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very nice common roach order. Very easy. 36 silver means we're going to make a lot more. Oh, that is great. Very nice. Wow. We've made some quick silver and had some quick fun at Old Burg today. It's actually been very good. All right. As always, thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody. Hope it was helpful. I will see you soon. Peace out.